Hello, my earth honoring friends. Today I would like to talk with you about something that has been around since 1970, almost as long as I have. And that is the first Earth Day. So back in the 70s, we did something more like this. Peace. In 1970, I was a senior in high school. And when I heard of Earth Day, I thought, just maybe we've got a chance. There was a lot of environmental movements going on. There was the national turmoil over the Vietnam War. There was all sorts of things that was bringing a lot of just an emerging national consciousness to the forefront, not just to the streets, but also really to the news and to the consciousness of people. It's like, wow, we have to make some changes. Not only is Vietnam on fire, but American rivers are on fire. Almost said the Supreme Court. That's not true. The Great Lakes. That's it. I think for an environmentalist, I'd be able to remember it. The Great Lakes. I think it was Lake Erie had begun to burn. One fire, a couple of fires to start when, like on rivers, when trains would be passing over a bridge, and the sparks emitted from the train or from the combustion of its fuel would land on the water. And poof, the water would catch on fire. So people were beginning to think that enough is enough. We're killing our planet. We're killing ourselves. And so there was really a concerted effort, as I said, of a joint effort to really begin to protect the environment. Now, in the last 48 years, there have been a lot of things that have taken us away from that kind of national direction. And this is, I think, one of our problems is that we really don't have a national vision anymore. In the early 1960s, President John F. Kennedy said we would put a man on the moon by the end of the decade, and we did. And that, directed us. In the 70s, it was get out of Vietnam. And finally, we did. And it seems like though since then, we really haven't had a national vision of what is the purpose of our country and what are we doing with the tremendous wealth and resources that we have and human resources that we have. Consequently, for a variety of reasons, some of these have been astute personal loss that people have incurred, as well as changes in our technology and educational systems and entertainment systems. So we have a tremendous disconnect with the planet now and things that give us life. And I think this disconnect leads us to a type of overwhelm and sense of loss and a sense of stress that just is not present in people who really still have a good connection with the land, even if it's purely recreational. But those who have a connection with the land that is more of a conscious, I think, restorative type of thing where we need to, give back, something that I've talked about before, and it's probably not a new concept to you. The need to interact with our planet in ways by which we give back. And one of the best ways to do this is through our earth honoring rituals, ceremonies. Now, some of these ceremonies go back centuries in terms of how long a culture has been trying to maintain and establish a good relationship with the planet of give and take, of exchange. Our culture doesn't do that, and yet many individuals do. So Earth Day is a way not just to give thanks, which I feel is extremely important, but to actually to demonstrate our understanding and connection with the energies that give us life and support through an actual earth honoring ritual or ceremony. And one of my favorite ways of doing this is by building an Apacheta. An Apacheta is an Inca term or Quechua word that means bring together. And basically it's a rock cairn. But what makes this Apacheta or rock cairn different than simply stacking rocks on top of one another is, of course, the intent and the energy that goes into it. The prayerful intent, the intent of ceremony, the purposeful action to not just stack rocks on top of each other, but to actually create through this structure virtually, you can think of it like an acupuncture point where energies from above, these very, very real energies that science does say exist, to bring these into the earth in a way that helps to energize the planet for its health, its ability to support us. So this is where that mutual give and take and reciprocity comes in. So, and it's also a way, I think, importantly, to bring order to chaos, whether the chaos is in our personal life, certainly isn't mine, or the national view or world view or current events, or whatever it may happen to be, is that it's actually a way to focus order, to take and you could think of just I don't want to say scattered rocks because there is a connection with everything, but an amorphous collection of rocks and putting them together in a ceremonial, ritualistic pattern that then creates an antenna virtually for higher energies from the galaxy, as I said, which physicists concur, come into our planet and send that into the earth so that in time we've got all these points of power interacting that we have created and begins to help restore the planet because of how much we have taken from her without necessarily giving back in an equal manner. This is the difference really behind just gratitude, which is extremely important, and actually giving back. So the Apacheta, there's information on how to create these. I actually will post a link of how to build an Apacheta that was filmed by a couple of friends of mine, Wahoo and Justine. And if you want to contact them, you can contact me and I can put you in touch with them. But I will certainly post the link to their how to build an Apacheta. And it's something that you can do as an individual, you can do as a family. Families get together and build these Apachetas in their backyard. And it becomes a central focus of family activity by periodically, not just building it and leaving it alone, periodically actually then, doing what we call ritual feedings, offering it flowers, fragrant waters, things like that, to let the forces that support us know that, we care and we appreciate it, and here's something back for all you do for us. So, some of this can sound a little strange to people not used to it, which I understand. But when you begin to consider and at least try this, on your own, as I said, with a group of people or family, school children just love it. Get outside, build an Apacheta. It begins to create a dynamic, not only amongst the people who build this themselves, but also, as I said, that right relationship with the planet. You can't have too many Apachetas. We simply can't. We can't have too many people involved with helping to balance the planet for everything that we receive. And we receive stuff every day. So it's just a good way to acknowledge our connection, to deepen our connection, and to probably even tap into some of this extra energy that's coming in, because sometimes just hanging out by an Apacheta when things aren't going well begins to restore, certainly restores me and other people that I've been with. And so it, might have that same effect on you. Earth honoring rituals, earth honoring ceremonies are something that we can all benefit from, and mitigate our disconnect that frequently comes to us because of simply modern life. So I hope you'll consider this. I hope this is of value to you. And again, I will post a link to the How to Build an Apacheta video, and let me know what you think about this one, so that I can tell whether or not there's other types of information or even an elaboration of this in which you might be interested. So, as we did in the 70s, as we do in the 21st century, peace and love to all of you. Maybe one of these days we'll build an Apacheta together. I know I'd like that.